My first guest tonight is the Uvalde Justice of the Peace. He was inside the crime scene, attempting to identify the victims. Our first hero of the night is Eulalio Diaz. Judge, how are you holding up?
It's been tough. I mean, there's been, it's got its ups and downs from the time that it happened to that evening, to yesterday morning, to today. But it's been tough. I guess I've been involved in the work of trying to get all the paperwork to the medical examiner's office and coordinating with the funeral homes to ensure that all the bodies are released back to the funeral homes and brought back to their families here in Uvalde. So that has been a full-time job, and it's kept me busy, so it's kind of kept my mind off of the reality of what just happened to our town.
For those that don't know, what does your job entail?
Because we don't have a medical examiner, we are the coroner of the county. So in most cases, we're going to handle deaths that are what they call unattended deaths, deaths that are from people that are not admitted into the hospital, people that are not admitted into the nursing home or that are under hospice care. So anybody who dies outside of those are going to be, they're going to call a JP out. And the JP then is going to be in charge of the death certificate and setting cause and manner of death. So that's what we're called to do.
Walk me through the process.
I knew that there was an active shooter. It came through Facebook, through Uvalde Police Department, that there was an active shooter at Rob's school. Later on we found out. Soon after that, that was probably around noon. And for the next couple of hours, all we heard was ambulances and sirens coming through town the whole time, moving people to the hospital, taking people to the, escorting the buses to the Civic Center. When I get the call out, roughly around 2:30, and I get to the scene and I make contact with the Rangers and with the district attorney, I was informed that it was 16 to 17 people.
What's going through your mind?
Just unbelievable. My heart dropped. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Had you seen anything like this?
Never. This happened in my hometown. You know, I attended Rob's school. My kids attended Rob's school. We've been here all our lives. So we're calling, and you know that there's going to be, once they tell me the number, there was a gap of about 3 hours before I went into the building, because when I get to the location, roughly around 2:30, by the time I go in, speak to the Rangers, we set time of death at 3:10 p.m. And then at that time, we made a decision to go ahead and reach out to the Bexar County Chief Medical Examiner, which was Dr. Molina. And I called her, I visited with her over the phone, told her what was going on. She then accepted. I had to send her an email, giving her permission and authority to come to Uvalde County to assist us. So then what I did is I waited. I didn't go into the scene until she got.
You didn't go to the scene. You waited.
I waited till she got so we could go in together, because you're talking someone who's got a lot more experience than we do, because they do it on a day-to-day basis, every day. So I waited for her to come down. It took about 2.5 hours, 2 hours to get here.
Did y'all have any talks before y'all? Did she prepare you for what you were about to see?
No, I prepared myself. I knew what was happening.
What did you tell yourself?
That it's probably going to be the worst thing I could have ever seen. You know, it's just, you know, and that's just mentally trying to prepare myself to be professional, because I was elected by the people of Uvalde, and they entrusted me to do a professional job, to take care of them, and that's what I was going to do. The Rangers and everybody has stated that most of it happened in one room. But when the first responders got there, they had to move kids to other rooms because they were trying to attend to the ones that needed medical attention, needed to go to the hospital. So they were trying to go through that. So when we get there, we end up going through 4 rooms, and then trying to get a plan together on what we were going to do to identify these children, because they're in different rooms. We don't know who's on the roster for the room or how they are. We also don't know They don't have IDs, they don't have driver's license, they don't have anything on them. So at that point, the Rangers and us, we all agreed that they were going to have someone at the civic center for the parents that have missing children that were not released to them, to start providing photos, descriptions, maybe what they were wearing that day, anything and that's what we used to come back later on and identify the victims. There was some news out that we didn't get them information fast enough, but we were trying to verify with certainty that was a child that was there. We don't want to give somebody false information. There had been some kids that were airlifted, moved to the hospital. We just wanted to be clear on who was there.
You still had to identify the suspect as well.
Correct. It's my county. I'm the one in charge of the scene. So he was not taken anywhere near the victims. He is being held currently in a separate county, in a morgue. We're waiting for the victims to all be released to Uvalde before we send him in for the examination. So that's just to respect for the victims.
How difficult was that aspect from a human aspect, and then your legal duties that you swore an oath to?
It's tough. I mean, because you know what happened. You know he's there. You know that he took innocent lives. But it's my job to still do the job that I need to do, and it's going to get done. It's just out of respect. We separated what we were going to do.
Did y'all decide to make that decision immediately when you went in?
Yes.
Was he immediately separated from the victims?
Yes. So that was done pretty much immediately. He was the last person to leave the scene.
So where do we go from here?
Try to heal. Work to try to heal. I mean, it's going to be a tough road. This just didn't affect the families that lost children or lost loved ones. This affected the whole community, because everybody somehow has a tie back to an individual that lost someone. And even if you don't have anybody, for it to happen in your hometown where you went to school, where you grew up, where you as a kid rode your bike up and down the street in the middle of the night or did whatever, it's just, you didn't expect something like this to happen. It's just it's hurting. And I mean, I've been getting phone calls and messages from former classmates that live outside of Uvalde now that are just heartbroken and saying they're going to come, and they're sending their wishes, but it's going to be a long road. I said, I know when the cameras finally leave, we need to have assistance for counseling available for our people here, and to help us through this. And we need to have them there whenever school starts in August again, because the kids are out. Kids are out of school now, and they're not coming back. So it's not like you can reach out to them. And in some of the cultures in South Texas and where we're at, I mean, it's, in most places, people don't go ask for help, and they'll say, I'm okay. Like I will say for right now, I'm okay, but
are you okay?
After this, I'm going to need to visit. I'm going to need to get around, speak to somebody to kind of let it out. But it's tough, but I'm going to hold it together for now, because it's what we need to do. But yes, we have our ups and downs, and because I have kids, I can feel their pain.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.